Skies, Angel Reese is now the first professional athlete to walk in the Victoria's Secret fashion show, and look at her go. The WNBA star said she put in a lot of work to prep for the show. She even got a walking coach.
Nobody saw this coming. Angel Reese, the Bayou Barbie, the trash talk queen of the WNBA, didn't just break into another lane. She owned it. Under the blinding pink lights of the Victoria's Secret fashion show, there she was, standing taller, prouder, and more confident than ever before. A professional basketball player turned runway star. It looked like a glamorous crossover moment, but to those paying attention, it was something far deeper, a quiet act of rebellion. Because Angel Reese wasn't just modeling lingerie. She was making a statement about value, about power, and about how women athletes are forced to create their own lanes when their leagues refuse to build them. To the casual viewer, it looked like a modeling debut. To insiders, it looked like a power play. Maybe even a warning shot aimed directly at the WNBA's front office. But how did we get here? How did a player known for her gritty defense and bold personality become the face of one of fashion's most famous brands? And more importantly, what does this say about the future of women's basketball?
Oh yeah, I was so happy. It was a leap of faith to put three shoes out, three colorways out for the first shoe, and didn't know if it was going to sell out. It was actually supposed to drop in 2026, so I dropped it a year earlier, but my team was amazing.
Let's break it down. Just 1 year earlier, Angel Reese wasn't walking that stage. She was watching it, sitting in the crowd, smiling, soaking it all in. It was late 2024. The Victoria's Secret show had just made its long-awaited comeback after years of being canceled for lacking diversity. The crowd was full of celebrities, Zendaya, Rihanna, and yes, Angel Reese herself. But that night, she wasn't there for attention. She was taking mental notes. She later posted on X, "One day, I'm gonna walk that runway. No emoji, no joke. Just manifestation in pure form." Fans brushed it off. "You're a basketball player, not a model. You're too tall. You're not what Victoria's Secret looks for." But Angel Reese doesn't ask for validation. She creates it. Because when she says something out loud, it's usually already in motion. Fast forward to October 2025, and there she was, stepping onto that runway as the first professional athlete in history to become an official Victoria's Secret Angel.
Where are we heading?
We're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship. We're going to Victoria's Secret.
If we ever make it there.
We're on the golf cart on our way there. I'm wearing Diotima.
From courtside to center stage in 1 year. That's not coincidence, that's calculation. But here's the twist. This wasn't just about fashion. It was a response to something much bigger. A battle brewing inside the WNBA that most fans don't see. See, while Angel Reese was perfecting her runway walk, the WNBA was quietly falling into a financial storm. The league's collective bargaining agreement, the CBA, is expiring soon, and it's turned the entire player base into an uproar. Star players are frustrated, younger players are angry, and team owners are getting nervous. The root of the issue? Money. Top athletes like Reese, Caitlin Clark, and A'ja Wilson are driving record-breaking viewership numbers. They're packing arenas, selling out merch, and generating tens of millions in brand value. Yet their base salary? Most of them make less than $120,000 a year, before taxes.
Payments over $850,000 for the deliverance and a percentage of her publishing advances. But, this back and forth with them has been going on for years. And then, she ultimately terminated her relationship with the management company in March, according to the lawsuit. So
Gilbert Arenas, a former NBA All-Star, even said publicly that the WNBA should abolish the salary cap entirely. He said, "If an owner wants to pay Angel Reese $10 million, let them. Stop limiting them. Let the market decide." That clip went viral, and it hit a nerve. Because for years, WNBA players have been told to be patient, to wait for growth. But the truth is, they're tired of waiting. Angel Reese herself has hinted at it. She said, "We put in the same hours, we market the league, we build the culture, and we still gotta work side jobs to survive." So when Victoria's Secret called, it wasn't just an opportunity, it was proof. Proof that her worth stretches far beyond the paycheck the WNBA was offering. She didn't need the league to tell her she was valuable. She already knew, and that's the real reason her runway debut hit so hard.
So proud of her, and I went backstage to see her and just hug her and kiss her and just tell her and let her know that she's a superstar on and off the court. And one of her biggest dreams was to walk this show.
It wasn't about glamour. It was about leverage. When most people hear Victoria's Secret Angel, they think of supermodels with perfect hair, glossy wings, and million-dollar smiles. But in 2025, that title means something different. After years of backlash, the brand reinvented itself, focusing on diversity, authenticity, and cultural relevance. And Angel Reese was the perfect symbol for that rebrand. She's tall, athletic, confident, unapologetic, everything the old Victoria's Secret never celebrated. She represented power. She represented change. But let's not sugarcoat it. This wasn't just a feel-good casting. It was business. Becoming an angel means global exposure. It means ad campaigns, fragrance lines, licensing deals, and potentially millions in sponsorship value. In the past, this title made women like Tyra Banks and Gisele Bündchen global icons. Now, it's Angel's turn. Except this time, she's bringing basketball with her.
Angel Reese is walking the Victoria's Secret fashion show and people are mad. Angel Reese, LSU's basketball star, was cast as one of the models this year, but instead of support, people online are dragging her saying she's not model material. Some people think this is crazy because Victoria's Secret is literally rebranding away from the 2000s skinny era.
Even Reese said it herself in an interview. "I'm showing that female athletes can be beautiful, confident, and powerful all at once. You don't have to pick." That quote alone went viral. It wasn't just a fashion moment, it was a cultural one. But for every person who cheered, there was another ready to tear her down. Within hours of her runway debut, the internet split in two. Some fans praised her for breaking barriers. Others accused her of selling out. "Angel Reese is leaving basketball for attention," one critic tweeted. Another wrote, "She's turning into an influencer, not an athlete." Even inside the WNBA, players had mixed feelings. Some privately admired her courage. Others whispered that she was distracting from the game. But that's what makes Angel Reese who she is. She doesn't chase approval. She creates conversation. Because in a league fighting for relevance, visibility matters.
Last year, Reese was in the audience watching the show and said she manifested this year's moment. Also in the show, Olympic gold medalist Suni Lee. And we don't have video of that, but here's Reese again, sporting all the things, all the get up.
Every photo shoot, every interview, every viral clip, it builds the ecosystem the WNBA desperately needs. And yet, the backlash exposed a deeper truth: how differently female athletes are treated when they step outside their lane. When male players sign with Gucci or Louis Vuitton, it's called branding. When Angel Reese walks a runway, it's called distraction. That double standard says everything, and she knows it. But here's where it gets even more interesting. That backlash didn't hurt her. It made her more valuable. The league can't ignore it anymore. When Angel Reese trends on social media, ticket sales spike. When Caitlin Clark hits a record, viewership doubles. When Aja Wilson wins MVP, sneaker companies call. The players have become bigger than the league itself, and that's both inspiring and terrifying, especially for WNBA leadership. Because every time a player like Reese lands a multi-million-dollar brand deal, it exposes how far behind the WNBA still is in compensating its stars. Sources say some executives inside the league office weren't thrilled about the Victoria's Secret partnership. They feared it could overshadow the season, or worse, send the message that athletes should look outside the WNBA for real money. But that's the uncomfortable truth. Many players do rely on off-court deals to survive. They play overseas during the off-season. They start podcasts, clothing lines, and brand partnerships just to make ends meet. Angel Reese simply took that hustle to a global level. And for a league struggling with labor negotiations, her timing couldn't have been louder. Because while the commissioner talks about steady growth, Reese is out here showing what exponential growth actually looks like. Let's step back for a second. This isn't just a story about basketball or fashion, it's about representation. For decades, the fashion industry sold one version of beauty: thin, white, polished, silent. Angel Reese shattered that. She walked out there with her head high, muscles defined, tattoos showing, hair laid, and confidence radiating from every step. And she did it unapologetically as a black woman in a space that historically erased women who look like her. That moment mattered because millions of young girls saw it and thought, if she can be both, an athlete and beautiful, then so can I.
Shout out to Reebok for putting me forefront. I always tell young women, go to a brand that's going to instill who you are, and they've let me be who I am. I've had creative control over everything.
She redefined what feminine strength looks like. Even former models praised her. One said she made the runway feel alive again. Meanwhile, Victoria's Secret, a brand once accused of being outdated, suddenly looked relevant. They didn't just rebrand their image, they rebranded empowerment. And Angel Reese became the face of it. But success always comes with pressure. Because now, every move she makes, every game, every endorsement, every tweet is watched by millions. And in the middle of that spotlight, the WNBA is still trying to figure out what to do with her. Behind the scenes, the WNBA is on edge. Players are threatening to strike if the new CBA doesn't offer fair pay. Frustration is boiling. During one closed-door meeting, several players reportedly confronted leadership about revenue transparency, demanding to know where all the new TV money is going. Meanwhile, Commissioner Kathy Engelbert keeps insisting the league is making progress. But progress feels slow when your stars are chasing outside opportunities just to be seen. Angel Reese's runway debut highlighted that divide. She proved that the players, not the league, are driving the culture, and it left many asking, if stars can build their own empires without the WNBA, who really needs who? The message was subtle but powerful. The league doesn't make the players anymore. The players make the league. That realization changes everything. Now, here's the part that's easy to forget. None of this was guaranteed. Walking that runway was risky. The internet is ruthless. If her walk looked awkward, if the outfit flopped, or if one bad clip went viral, the narrative would have turned instantly. She embarrassed herself. She's out of her lane. But Angel Reese didn't flinch. She walked with the same composure she uses when the crowd boos her during free throws, because confidence is her weapon. Every step said, "You can't box me in." That confidence wasn't just for her. It was for every WNBA player watching from home, wondering if they too could step outside the lines without being judged for it. And maybe that's the real reason she did it. Not for attention, but for permission. To show the next generation that being bold isn't arrogance, it's survival. Because in a league where exposure equals income, silence doesn't pay the bills. And Angel Reese? She refuses to be silent. After the show, she went viral. Again, clips of her walk flooded social media. Magazines fought for interviews, and Victoria's Secret executives confirmed she'll be part of their 2026 global campaign. Endorsement requests tripled overnight. Nike, Fenty, even Netflix reportedly reached out. Meanwhile, fans started asking the question that's been hanging in the air. Could Angel Reese become the first active WNBA player to earn more off the court than on it? If so, she'd be rewriting the business model of women's sports altogether. And the WNBA knows it. Because if this trend continues, if athletes like Reese, Clark, and Wilson start building multi-million-dollar personal brands, then the league either adapts or gets left behind. For now, Angel's not slowing down. She's balancing basketball, fashion, business, and philanthropy, and somehow still keeping her same fearless attitude. When she spread those pink wings on that stage, it looked like a fashion moment, but it was much more than that. It was a message to the fans that female athletes are worth your attention. To the brands, that strength and beauty can coexist. And to the WNBA, that their stars no longer need permission to shine. Angel Reese didn't just walk the runway. She walked into a new era. An era where women in sports don't have to choose between power and femininity, between athlete and icon. She turned a modeling gig into a statement of independence. And whether you love her or hate her, you can't deny one thing. She's changing the game. Because in a world where everyone's waiting for validation, Angel Reese just showed what happens when you give yourself wings. And the WNBA might never be the same again.